welcome to Let's Chat Once Upon a Time. This is your cursory spoiler alert warning. We are going to be discussing 2 episodes tonight. We're going to be discussing Birth and the Bear King. Lots and lots of spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episodes yet and you don't want to be spoiled, please come back later after you've watched the episodes. So if you're ready, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay. Welcome everybody. I am actually really excited. I actually made it back in time for tonight's Once Upon a Time episodes. I actually spent the weekend in Florida and in Orlando, and I actually flew back today. I actually made sure that I would get back into New York City before the episodes aired so we could talk about it. So we're actually going to reverse it tonight. As you know, there was 2 episodes. There was The Bear King and Birth. Birth aired first at the 8 p.m. hour. Bear King aired at the 9 p.m. hour here in New York. So we're actually going to talk about The Bear King first because I have a lot to get off my chest about Birth, and not so much with The Bear King. So with The Bear King was all about Merida and King Fergus, and we got to see Red and Mulan come back, which was great. They found a very interesting way to explain Red's disappearance, her not being at Storybrooke, which is basically after the end of the season 3 finale. She felt lonesome, she felt kind of left out because she was the only werewolf in town. So Tiny was able to actually grow her one bean, and she used that to go back to the Enchanted Forest. She somehow ended up in Dunbroch and became the witch's guard dog. Mulan freed her, and yay, Ruby's back. Mulan was kind of reintroduced by being somebody who King Fergus had hired to train Merida, and Merida found her again, you know, kind of being this, you know, merchant villain for hire type of situation, and brought back Mulan's sense of honor. It was a good episode, but it's what I like to call a filler episode. Normally, this episode would have actually aired next week, but next week is the AMAs, or the American Music Awards, so there won't be a Once Upon a Time next week. So they aired it tonight. But this is what I call filler episodes, where it doesn't really do too much to drive the story along, but it has something. But there was 0 Captain Swan, 0 Storybrooke, except for the little bit where they explained Ruby's, you know, how Ruby hasn't been around for the last 2 years. Other than that, no Storybrooke. We saw King Arthur and Zelena in Dunbroch, but it was because apparently Arthur had actually killed King Fergus, so we'll get to that in a minute. But other than that, it was what I call filler episode. It was a great episode, it was a good episode, but I think they kind of did that to kind of, you know, allow all of us Captain Swan shippers a moment to breathe and a moment to process what happened in Birth. So right now we're going to dive right into Birth. Birth started off pretty much with the sneak peek that was released earlier this week of Arthur trying to kill Killian, Emma saving him with a fully restored Excalibur, and she kind of explained, you know, that she was doing all of this for Cook. That we saw earlier in the week. This kind of built on that, if you will. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Killian is a dark one. So if you had bet $5 or more in the What is Killian pool that's been going around the fandom for the last couple weeks, congratulations, you're a winner. I did not guess that he was going to be a dark one. I thought he was going to be something with Excalibur. I didn't know what. I wasn't expecting a dark one. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that. So I was really shocked. I love it. I love that there's 2 dark ones. There's never been 2 dark ones. Emma completely broke the rules when she did this. You know, technically speaking, Arthur did kill Killian. He is the one that was wielding Excalibur when it cut Killian, and, you know, as Merlin explained, wounds dealt by Excalibur cannot be healed. So Killian basically died, and Emma couldn't lose another person she loved. You know, all of us who have watched from the seasons, we remember that big scene in season 3, or episode 3 of last season, which led to basically her and Hook making out in the middle of the street, which was, she basically said, everyone I've ever been with has died. Neil, Graham, she doesn't want to lose Killian, and he promised her that he was a survivor, and, I think some of her maybe felt that guilt that she was wearing Leah the ring, and he died, and she could not have that. So she took Excalibur, untethered Merlin from it, and tethered Killian to it, but because Killian didn't have light magic, he became a Dark One. And the end of the episode basically was him being reborn from the Dark One's vault. And he looked broody and hot as hell. Just gonna say it. He looked seriously hot. But he's pissed. I mean, he has a right to be pissed. But I think that what we're going to see now is that kind of fun, dangerous Killian that we got in season 2 times like 1,000. He's on a warpath. Based off the promo we saw for last week, he's going after the crocodile. He's going after Rumple. But Rumple doesn't have magic now, so it's totally reversed. It's a complete reverse scenario, and I'm going to love it. I loved Dark Killian. I loved Dark Captain Hook. I like a good Captain Hook. I like Captain Hook no matter if he's good, light, in between, whatever. But there is just something about Dark Captain Hook that is just brilliant. I also think it really gives Colin O'Donoghue a really chance to like get his acting out there, get him extended from just kind of being this little sidekick that, does good whenever Emma wants him to. Just like how Emma embraced the darkness and she's giving into the seductiveness of it all and giving basically no crap given about whatever, Killian's doing the same thing now. He's just like, screw it. Screw you all. I'm going to have fun. I didn't quite hear what he said in the promo. I'm going to have to rewind it. But he said something enough to make Dark Emma cry. And I don't know if he's playing her. I don't know if this is the real feelings, but he's pissed and he's taking it out on her. He didn't want to be a Dark One. She made him a Dark One. She made him a Dark One for selfish reasons, too. She couldn't live without him. And as noble-ish as those feelings are, he's not getting it. Let's see what I have in my notes. So let's talk about the house. So when Emma came back to Granny's after she found the flame and Merlin disappeared and blah blah blah, Henry gave her this paper, kind of giving her something to hold on to, giving her something to really, focus on. And it was the newspaper listing of the house that she has, that she's been living in. She didn't just commandeer the house because she felt like it. This was the house that Killian was going to buy and ask her to start a life with him there and start a future. It was a promise of a future. And she's trying so hard to keep that future, even as the Dark One. And I want to cry, and I just have all these feels that I don't know how to get out, and I'm tapped out on emotion right now after this weekend. So tonight's episode, I'm going to have to rewatch it this week and just be like, and I might actually cry. Who knows? Who knows what's happening? We also got the explanation of the rings that Killian wears and how he took them from, one of them, he took them from a sailor that was drinking the captain's rum, and so he drowned him, and another guy did something and he killed him and took the ring. But the ring he gave Emma was Liam's. And now I personally thought it was Liam's. I know a lot of people in the fandom were talking about that it was Mila's, but I don't think Killian would be stupid enough to give Emma Mila's ring. It was Liam's ring. So that was just an aw moment. Okay, so now we've come to this week's segment of Arthur is a Dick because, and in this week's episode of Arthur is a Dick, he did several things. First off, he actually legit killed Killian, and Emma had to turn Killian Hook into the Dark One to save his life. So Arthur's a dick. Second, he ordered Merlin to kill Snow White, and he almost did it until Emma got him to, kind of take back control for like a split second. So there's that. And then he killed King Fergus. So going back to the Bear King, he killed King Fergus for the stupid helmet that would control an army. So basically Arthur's a dick and he's weak. He doesn't know how to be a king. He doesn't know how to do anything without magic. He can't be a king without magic. I mean, he's partnered up with Zelena, for crying out loud. Only a desperate, stupid person does that. And so, speaking of Zelena, let's talk about Emma's plan. So, yay, we got to see Dr. Whale back. And for those of you who don't watch iZombie, there's kind of a little tongue-in-cheek reference to his character in iZombie, referring to Dr. Whale's hair, because in iZombie, he plays a character that is not, but still trying to be a zombie. So he has this bleached out white hair. And so he obviously made a cameo appearance tonight back as Dr. Whale, but had to keep the hair bleach, and Regina made a little cute tongue-in-cheek reference, so it was great for those of us who watch iZombie as well. Zelena went from being 2 months pregnant to full term giving birth in a matter of like 2 days. Or a day, whatever the time frame is here. And she made a funny little line as she was being wheeled into her delivery room, basically saying, when the Dark One offers you onion rings, don't eat them. So basically Emma spilled the little snacky snack that she gave her, and it accelerated Zelena's pregnancy from 0 to 60 in like a day or so. And so she gave birth to a little girl, and it was a very kind of deja vu moment from when Snow had Neil and Zelena barged in and took Neil, and once again Dr. Whale got thrown up against a wall. So she didn't want the baby. She wanted Zelena. She wanted to make sure the baby was safe. She wanted Zelena. She needs Zelena because she was going to, her whole plan is to use Excalibur to take the darkness out of her, take the darkness out of Killian, throw it into Zelena, who's in Emma's mind is kind of just wasted space, and kill Zelena and vanquish all the darkness and the wickedness all in one swoop. Regina gets her happy ending with Robin and Zelena's baby. No more Wicked Witch, no more darkness, and everyone lives happily ever after. Except for obviously that didn't happen because Zelena convinced Killian to take off her magic cuff and release them from Emma's basement prison. So, and then Zelena went snooping into the garage of memory horrors and found the one with all of Killian's memories, and that's how Killian learned he was the Dark One. Actually, before she did that, she stabbed him in the heart with a pair of, gardening shears, but, semantics. So yeah, kind of a lot to process tonight. I think we only have 2 or 3 more episodes left of the season, and we're going to get a lot. It's going to go very fast paced. Super fast paced for the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to love it, and I'm going to be very sad when it's gone. I will have the full recap of tonight's episode. I can't guarantee it's going to be tomorrow. Like I said, I just got back into town, so I'm a little tired. I'm going to try to have it up for tomorrow by you guys, but if not, it will be up either tomorrow night or Tuesday morning. And I'll have a full recap and all my thoughts once I've processed it of tonight's episode. And of course, it will be on Entertainista. You can find all the links down below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. It's all at Entertainista. Again, links are going to be down below for everybody. And yeah. And also, if you guys want to hear me talk, if you want to see my thoughts or anything like that on any other shows, just hit me up down in the comments below, or tweet me at Entertainista. Like I said, we only have 3 more episodes coming up, which means during the winter hiatus, there will not be any Let's Chat Once Upon Times, because there will be no Once Upon Times to chat about. So if there's another show, whether it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or I actually can't think of any other mid-season replacements right now because I haven't looked at the schedule. But if there's other shows that you think that we should, talk about, let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best to make it happen. Until then, everyone have a great week. Have happy Captain Swan dreams, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.